Alright, Matt here from Built Right Industries. Tonight I'm going to show you how I did my H11 to H9 conversion on a 2016 F-150. Should really work for any car with an H11 bulb. I'm just showing you here the bulbs that I use. These are just pretty standard Philips H9 original equipment quality spec bulbs. I think I got them on Amazon for like $7 or $8 a piece. As far as tools, you're going to want a sharp X-Acto knife, side cutters, something like that. They make smaller ones too that might work. And then a ratchet and a socket. The socket that I'm using here is a 5.5 millimeter. So I think like a 7/32 standard would probably work also. The screws are not in there very tight, so anything that's close sort of should work okay. So you got your tools, you got your bulbs. I'm going to go ahead and show you the area that we're working with now. In here, there are 3 screws, and these are the 5.5 millimeter head. One here, and then one right here. And then there's also this clip back here, where if you just kind of twist it counterclockwise, you can pull it out. So once you have those 3 undone, you can pull the fender liner back here, back up to like about this point, something like that. And then you can reach your arm up in here, and I have like normal size hands and arms, I guess. It's a tight fit, but you can do it. And you can reach up in there and get to the headlight bulb, which is this the top bulb. So the first thing you're going to do is pull off the cap to the back of the bulb and set that aside. And then you're going to reach up there and pull the bulb connector. You're going to be able to twist that counterclockwise like maybe 60 degrees and the bulb will pop out. And then you'll have to reach a second hand up there to disconnect the bulb from the harness. Okay, so this is the stock bulb. This is H11 bulb. And then here we've got our H9 bulb. Now I've already opened this, and I've actually already cut out one of the plastic bars here. But if you can see on the stock bulb, there's a plastic tab, a key, inside this connector on the bottom only. Now on an H9 bulb, there's a key on the bottom and also on the top. Let's see if I can get some light in there. I've already cut out the connector on the top. You can see a little bit of the remnants of that. But what you're going to want to do is take an X-Acto knife and cut that tab out. The plastic is pretty soft, so if you got a sharp knife, you'll be able to put straight down on it. Alternatively, I know that people do successfully use like a side cutters. So that's step 1. Get the 2 of those matching up with just the key on the bottom. Now the second step involves this tab on the top. You can see on the bottom, left and right, the tabs are the same between the 2 bulbs, but on the top they're different. On the H11 bulb, the key on the tab is on the right hand side. It's the opposite on the H9 bulb. So that's not a big problem. All we have to do on the H9 bulb is cut this tab off so that there's effectively no tab. And I'm using a side cutters here with a moderate level of success. You don't need to be real. I know some people will use like a Dremel and be really like, you know, careful with it. I have found that if you just do something like that, you'll be in pretty good shape. Now when it comes to pushing this into the headlight housing, you may have good luck pushing this in first, where you can kind of slip it up, and then these tools drop into place, and then you twist it clockwise back into the housing. Okay, so now that you've prepared your bulb, you're going to come back into the fender well here, and you're going to grab your bulb, reach back up with 2 hands again to connect the connector to the bulb, And then remove one hand and work to find the opening in the housing. You're going to have to just kind of feel for it, but it does help if you can look around in here, and just behind the shield there you can kind of see the bulb coming through. You can actually see really nicely there. This bulb is still installed. But so you're going to want to push the bulb back up in there and then twist it clockwise to lock it back into place. The tab that you've trimmed will end up on the top. So then all that's left is to grab your cap, reinstall the cap, and then reinstall your 3 fasteners and the push clip down there, and give them a test.